What's going on, guys? It's Jamie here, once again posting on FM Scout TV with our SPL Billionaire Challenge, and we've sort of decided to format a little bit. Off the sort of comments from last episode, we're going to continue to give these clubs money and really see how far the SPL can go. I don't care how far we have to go into the future. I want to see Aberdeen challenging for the Champions League. But one more progression, I suppose. Scotland has moved up now to the 8th best league in the world in terms of reputation. That's above the Turkish league and above the Ukrainian league. Unbelievable stuff. The next leagues in their sight are Russia, you got Portugal, France, and then you get Germany, Italy, England, Spain. So it's exciting stuff so far. So for anyone wondering how we give them £1 billion, it's quite simple. We just click on the club. I use the in-game editor, which is available to download off Steam. Cost a couple of quid, but I mean I've used it, I suppose, so that's okay. Click on Edit Club Details, head over to the finances. You've got to make sure that the sugar daddy is at front end, and all I do is go 999,999,999, which is 999 million, but obviously I can't give them $1 billion, so if it's glitching out for you and you can't give them $1 billion, just give them that amount of money, and then I just add the rest for the same, or just adjust the wage budget to as far as it goes, which I think is like something like 400 grand, but I do that for the whole team, make sure their reputation is bumped back up to 10,000, and I do that for every team. So I'm going to do that, and we'll simulate forward another year and see what happens. So after giving all of the clubs £1 billion, we've simulated forward another season, and I suppose the hope is that we see the SPL progress more. That's what we want every single year, is the SPL to keep growing. First thing we'll note is, just because it's on the screen, is that Andre Villas-Boas is now the manager of Kilmarnock, which of course is interesting. I mean, obviously he's been in the league for a while, but he went from Zenit St Petersburg to Dundee to Inverness, and he's gone to Kilmarnock, so we're starting to see managers actually come to Scotland and remain there for quite a few years. We'll check out the league table, because that's one of the most important things. We can see St Johnstone coming away. After a couple of years not winning the trophy, they've managed to secure that. Rangers finishing down in 27th. Well, not 27th place, in 12th place, but on 27 points. Once again, Mbolo is banging in the goals for St Johnstone, 24 this season, leading them to another title, their third since we started this whole save-off. Partick Thistle, who have won the last 2 years, finishing 3 points off the top of the table. But Aberdeen, I really feel for them. 69 points, the exact same as St Johnstone, but they just couldn't do it. They didn't have as many goals. It's a big shame for them. But we've seen the SPL move up to 8th. No progression so far this year, but perhaps we'll see that in the next season. Let's check out the transfers. The big transfers, we're starting to see regens come through, so it's sort of hard to judge these transfers at this point. But the good thing is they seem to be investing quite heavily in youth players, which is important. Trying to snap up some of the better youth talents around the world. And like, Nathan Redmond, he went to Dortmund from Scotland, and he's, that's the sort of level the Scottish players are at, where they are selling players to the likes of Dortmund. But yeah, definitely some good transfers. I mean, even Timo Horn, he left Aberdeen to go to Arsenal. So there's definitely some big players within Scotland, and the league really is a great league. I mean, 12 teams in a league like this that has so much money is absolutely fantastic. Let's check out how we've done in European success, because that's very important to us. So we'll check out the league table. Last season we had Partick Thistle winning the league, so they would have gone through. Let's check out their schedule and see how they've done in the Champions League, and if they've been elsewhere, to be honest. They might have gone into the Europa League. We'll start off with the Champions League. You can see they got knocked out in the group. They had a really tough group, actually. PSG, Sevilla and Olympiacos. But there's definitely an increase in stature, because we can see they drew with PSG, they drew with Sevilla. They beat Olympiacos comfortably over both games, and drew with PSG again. So definitely some fantastic performances from Partick Thistle. But very unlucky, actually. I'm guessing they went into the Europa League. It would have been a very tight group. They got knocked out in the first knockout round on away goals to PSV, so a tough one there for Partick Thistle, but they showed some really great signs in the group there. Aberdeen, another team that would have been playing some sort of European football season this season. Champions League, knocked out by Napoli in the best place playoff, actually won the first leg 3-2, but then went ahead and lost, because Napoli had those away goals. They come back to bite them in the arse, but they beat Dynamo Kiev, which is a great result. Unlucky not to get to the groups there. Europa League, though they would have gone into the groups, they actually got out of the group and they had a tough group. They were unbeaten in the group with a group with Liverpool in it, which is absolutely fantastic. They beat Liverpool 2-1, went to Wolfsburg, lost the first game 2-0, which was disappointing, but drew 3-3 in the second one, which is fairly respectable. Overall, some good performances from Scottish teams in European competitions this year. We've also got Celtic, who are in the group as well. They got as far as the semi-finals before losing 6-0 to Spurs, but they knocked out Sporting in the quarter-finals, and Lazio. They had a fantastic run, Celtic. Despite their sort of poor performances domestically in the league, they've done well to push forward in Europe in this year. They've done some really good work. Europa League, St Johnstone there once again getting to the second knockout round before being knocked out to Shakhtar Donetsk. We're starting to see Scottish teams move forward, progressing into, well, I mean, top performances in Europe, and that's what you want to see. That is really what you want to see from these Scottish teams. You know, overall we've seen the league come very far in the short amount of time, and realistically it's only been 6 or so years. 6 years. We've invested a lot of money in the league, of course, and I feel great because I'm just making it rain in Scotland, which is good. But we're starting to see some good progression now. Ross County, the last team that finished in the European places. Did they? Is that a European spot? I don't think it is, actually. So yeah, overall some good stuff. We're starting to see some actual progression here. But most importantly, I think we're starting to see players that are forming a career here in Scotland. And Imbolo is that's my shining example. He's already had 60 caps for Switzerland, and he's absolutely banging in the goals for St Johnstone. He got 11 goals in 16 appearances in the Europa League, which is absolutely awesome at that level. 24 and 38. But he's been with St Johnstone from the start, since they had the money. I mean, they spent 13.75 million on him, and they've had a great return on their investment. He's given them 6 full seasons where he's just been banging in the goals. So good stuff from Imbolo, and good stuff from the league overall. And I think, with investment over the next few years, we'll start to see the sort of landscape of Scottish football changing. How is their international team doing? That's what I'm really interested in. I mean, of course, for them to bring in players in Scotland in this £1 billion investment, it's going to take a while for the national team to get better, which is what you'd expect. But where are they? Rated 51st in the world, so I mean, it's not exceptional. I don't know where they are in real life now. I'll probably just check right now, to be honest. But, I mean, what we really want to see is these people, you know, these teams, and spend money on building an infrastructure for their squad, and then hopefully that can benefit the Scottish national team. I mean, the Scottish national team in real life are 46th in the world in the FIFA rankings, so not much of a change there really, but hopefully we'll start to see some of these players, you know, coming through. I don't know, have we got any regens there right now who are already in the first team? By the looks of things, not yet, but I'm sure in the future we'll begin to see that happening. The under-21 squad, we've got players all across Scotland there playing. So the good thing is, it seems like lots of players playing for Scotland. And there are some actually talented youngsters in there in terms of worth. So hopefully they can live up to that and we can see some progression in the national team. So the format has been pretty much decided, lads. Thank you for the comments and all the suggestions. I take them all on board. And really, the general idea is we're going to be giving these teams sort of £1 billion every 3 or so years. So in the next episode, we'll cover 2 seasons. We'll be in 2023, and then we'll give them another $1 billion and see how far Scottish football can really go. What I want you guys to let me know, how far do you think Scotland can go? Do you really think Scotland can perhaps, you know, get as big as the Premier League, get as big as the German League? Where do you think the line is drawn for this? I mean, Scotland, you know, in terms of qualification, isn't great. They got to the 2018 World Cup, but didn't do much there, losing to Italy and Colombia, but beating Iran, which is okay, I suppose. But I want to see them qualifying and stuff like that. But please let me know how far do you think Scotland can go? I think they'll go really far. And if we continue to invest the sort of money we're doing right now, we'll see some really interesting things happen in the league. So guys, if you have enjoyed this, make sure to follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/FMHub. As always, subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link will be in the description, and subscribe to FM Scout. I'll have a new episode coming to this next week. So I will see you guys then. Goodbye for now.